Welcome to Budgetology 101. I'm your host, Edwin.
Hi, I'm John. Welcome. I'm very excited about the new things we are going to learn today.
So John, what did you think about the information provided in the previous video?
That was great information. And like you said, there's no one size fits all. So what about a scenario where a person does not make enough money to cover even the parts of their expenses that are fixed? Regardless of how you group your expenses, if you do not make enough to be able to put a roof over your head based on your salary, how can a person begin to group anything?
A past experience comes to mind as I listen to you. 3 couples in New York rented out a 3-bedroom house. Each couple lived in their own separate rooms and shared all the living obligations equally until they were able to get their own homes. When one couple moved out, a new couple moved in, and the cycle continued. It took a community because you need to know people who know other people that are in the same situation and are comfortable with the setup. But it worked. Is this what you meant by restructuring?
Yes, you brought up a great point, and this is something real that we need to address. Because budgeting is great when the numbers cooperate. But what about when they don't? What about when someone looks at their paycheck, looks at their rent, and realizes the two are not on speaking terms? This is the moment when people say, how am I supposed to group expenses when I can't even cover the basics? And honestly, that's a fair question. If 100% of your income can't put a roof over your head, feed you, and get you to work, then we're not talking about budgeting anymore. We're talking about a structural mismatch, like trying to fit a king-size mattress into a twin-size frame. No amount of pushing is going to make it fit. And here's the important part. This is not a personal failure. It's a sign that the cost of living has outpaced the income available. And it happens to more people than you'd think. So if grouping expenses isn't helpful yet, what is the first step? Well, the goal shifts. Instead of asking, how do I organize my expenses, the real question becomes, how do I change the equation? There are only 3 ways to do that. Reduce fixed expenses, increase income, restructure obligations. Now, I know, none of these sound fun. Nobody wakes up excited to renegotiate bills or look for a cheaper apartment. But these steps are about survival, stability, and, eventually, breathing room. Think of it like trying to clean a closet that's overflowing. You don't start by color-coding your shirts. You start by taking things out, making space, and figuring out what actually fits. Budgeting works the same way. Let's talk about reducing fixed expenses. These are the ones that feel unchangeable: rent, utilities, insurance. But sometimes they're more flexible than we think. For example, housing. Maybe it means moving to a more affordable place, getting a roommate like the example you gave, or negotiating rent. Yes, some landlords will negotiate, especially if you've been a good tenant. Utilities. Many companies offer hardship programs or budget billing to smooth out costs. Insurance. Shopping around or adjusting coverage can make a surprising difference. These changes aren't glamorous. Nobody posts on social media, "Guess who just switched to a cheaper utility plan?" But these are the quiet decisions that keep people afloat. And if you run a business, sometimes it means restructuring staff hours, renegotiating vendor contracts, or adjusting operations. Again, not fun, but necessary. Now let's talk about the other side of the equation, increasing income. And no, this doesn't always mean working yourself into exhaustion. Sometimes it's asking for more hours, negotiating pay, switching employers, taking on small, manageable side work, using skills you already have in new ways. Even an extra $100 to $200 a month can be the difference between sinking and staying afloat. Then there's restructuring obligations. Something people often forget is an option. Many companies offer payment plans, temporary reductions, hardship programs, consolidation options. They would rather work with you than lose you. And finally, the emotional side. Because when someone can't cover their fixed expenses, it's not just numbers. It's stress, it's fear, it's lying awake at night, doing math you never wanted to do. It's feeling like you're running a marathon with no finish line in sight. That's why this conversation matters. Budgeting isn't about making people feel bad for not managing better. It's about giving people tools that match their reality. And sometimes, the tool isn't a budget. Sometimes, the tool is a plan to change the situation itself. That's all we have for now, folks. Hopefully, taking the time to make those tough decisions about major lifestyle changes will help you get one step closer to improving your finances. As always, don't forget to follow us, like, and share this video. See you in the next video.